Welcome to Real Estate Coaching Radio, starring award-winning real estate coaches and #1 international best-selling authors, Tim and Julie Harris. This is the #1 daily radio show for realtors looking for a no BS, authentic, real-time coaching experience. What's really working in today's market, how to generate more leads, make more money, and have more time for what you love in your life. And now your hosts, Tim and Julie Harris.
Welcome back. This is Real Estate Coaching Radio. We are your happy, humble hosts, Tim and Julie Harris, and we're picking up where we left off on the last podcast. And this is the top 38 video post topics or ideas for realtors on YouTube.
That's right. So thanks again for joining us today. Again, this is Tim and Julie Harris. Our podcast is Real Estate Coaching Radio. Please go ahead and subscribe, and add comments and questions, especially if you're listening on YouTube. And Tim, I was just talking to you the other day about we do so many podcasts and discussions on podcasts about controlling your mindset and having a media-free morning. And I was thinking about how I control that. Is one of the things that I do is I have my favorite podcasts set to subscribe so that I don't have to always be looking for them. They just pop up and tell me, hey, there's a new podcast available, so that I can put that in my schedule and jump on that without actually having to be online looking for it. That way I can be more efficient during the day with my coaching clients and doing podcasts with you, for example.
Well, one of the hacks, obviously, that iTunes has made super simple for that is just to subscribe to our podcast on iTunes. And by the way, for all of you, nice lead in, by the way, lady.
Thank you.
For all of you who have given us 5-star reviews on iTunes, we certainly appreciate it. We are in the process of mailing out dozens of books because there's so many people that won the informal contest for giving us 5-star reviews and pithy comments on iTunes. The competition, dare I say, is still going on. Our faculty and staff are valuing each of the podcast reviews. So far, I have to say there are no losers. So if you'd like to give us a 5-star review over on iTunes and a pithy comment, we'd certainly appreciate it. And you guys are keeping us very busy. We have a little assembly line. Julie and I are signing the books. Zoe is stuffing them into boxes. And all the books in the boxes are getting hand addressed by our 8.5-year-old daughter. So if it looks like an 8.5-year-old addressed your signed autographed book box, that is why, because guess what she did?
Yes, that's why I tell her. That's why people have kids, right?
That's right.
Okay.
She's a working elf.
Exactly. All right. So again, our top 38 video posts. Now we're not going to go through all 38, but we're going to get your brain working on this. So again, on today's show, we're presenting to you the top videos that you should be posting to your realtor social media sites, especially on YouTube. When you create each video, you'll use it not just on YouTube, but the same video will go on Facebook and Instagram for you. And this keeps your message consistent and efficiently keeps all 3 of your assets updated. Now, YouTube is the most important place to post because your videos will then be searchable in Google. If you don't know how to use YouTube yet, refer to our podcast that's coming up about YouTube for realtors. I think that's going to be Friday or Monday coming up here.
By the way, we are going to be, those of you, first of all, thanks to the hundreds of you who are joining Premier Coaching this month. We certainly appreciate the honor of being your real estate coaches. And for those of you who haven't joined yet, or maybe listening to us for the first time, you can join Premier Coaching completely for free. Absolutely 100% for free. Just text the word Premier to 47372. Text the word Premier, Premier, to 47372. And when you do, you're going to have instant access to Premier Coaching, including what Julie's talking about. We're in the process of adding all of the YouTube specific content onto the first level of Premier Coaching, which you'll have instant access to. And remember, our philosophy is, and it's, we talk about it extensively in our book, Harris Rules, is you should be doing at least 80% proactive lead generation and 20% passive lead generation. YouTube's and social networking and marketing and all the rest of it definitely falls into the 20% bucket. But it is important, provided you are doing the primary effort, which is the proactive lead generation. We teach you how to do that in Premier Coaching. This is absolutely no shortcuts, no fluff, direct, actionable information. And we know a lot of you guys listening right now, you don't want to wasting time. You want to get into action now. You want to know how to help people. That is your primary objective in life, and make money for doing so. That is what Premier Coaching is all about. We've made it super simple for you. You do not need any money to join. Just text the word Premier to 47372. If you're outside of the continental United States, it's equally easy for you to join. Just go to members, How do you spell members?
MEMBERS.
.timandjulieharris.com. Members, stop laughing. It's not that funny. Members.timandjulieharris.com. If you're outside of the continental United States. If you are in the continental United States, just text the word Premier to 47372. Do that urgently, and you have access not just to the content we just told you about, the YouTube training stuff, but also a DISC personality test. You can take that. All of our, many of our scripts, our objection handlers, how to work with buyers, how to work with sellers. I mean, Julie, there's so much information on the first level. And by the way, the best part of Premier when you join now is you get, and guys, you will not believe this, but you get a daily semi-private coaching session with your Harris certified coach. So every single weekday, you and your Harris certified coach are going to be on a video conference call, and you're going to be able to ask questions and have direct interactions. You also get access to our members only Facebook pages and our private community groups, all of that for free. Just text the word Premier to 47372. Text the word Premier to 47372. You look like you want to say something?
I have to say, I did spend probably too much time online this morning just reviewing what agents were saying and posting and how they're feeling.
In general, in
different social
stuff. Not about Premier.
No.
Yeah.
But what it made me think of Premier, because
Right.
Premier has become kind of, yes, it's coaching, but it's also a bit of a mastermind and definitely a support group, because we know that you guys are freaking out about the market shift. I can see it in your posts. I can see it in some of the things that you've never dealt with before, price reductions, and buyers are starting to get their unpre-approval letters and what to do about that, how to change all that.
Look at the pure real estate stats. You can't hide from them, right?
Yeah.
So interest rates are projected to go up by another 0.75 of a point soon. It means long-term interest rates could be up near 7%.
Yep.
We can talk about the relevance of that historically in another time, but it doesn't matter. For a lot of people, that's going to cause some massive payment shock. If not, it's going to take them out of the market. There's all kinds of unintended consequences or intended consequences that are going to come from rising interest rates. But here's all that matters in real estate. And get real clear about this in your head. No matter what the interest rates are, people will still buy and sell real estate. Mm-hmm. Honestly, guys, it won't matter, because people will buy and sell real estate because they need a place to live. And there'll always be people that are going to have cash to buy homes, and you're going to get paid commissions on those. There's always going to be people that have babies and need bigger homes. There's always going to be people that want to downsize, people that want to move across country or have to move across country because their job situation changes, inherit property, probate listings, all kinds of different listings that you can get access to no matter what the interest rates are. So let the people that aren't going to last freak out about what's happening in the market. You have to see this change in the market for what it is, which is an enormous opportunity.
Yes.
The greatest wealth in the history of humanity have always been made during the greatest times of change. And like it or not, folks, we are in one of those greatest times now. We are absolutely in unprecedented waters as far as what's happening in the economy. The combination of things that's happening now has never happened before. It's not going to be temporary. Welcome to the new world. Now it's time for you to get your skills on and, frankly, get locked into the fact that your highest and best purpose on this planet is being of service to other people. And the way you're going to be of service to other people is to learning the skills that those other people will need in a market like this. And that is what Premier Coaching is all about. So text the word Premier to 47372. Remember, message and data rates may apply. Julie, let's go for it.
Yes.
Go ahead. Go for it.
38 topics for professional real estate agents to post on social media, which, when done consistently, should create listing and buyer lead generation for you. So we have 3 little notes just to make sure that you're doing this right. Note number 1, when you're filming any property, your listing or someone else's, or even new construction, be certain you have written permission to do that. Okay, note number 2, each video must have something of value, and we'll talk about that in a second.
Written permission can be in the form of something digital. You can just text somebody and say, is it okay that I basically do a video of your property? And then they'll say yes. It's questionable as to whether or not you need written permission if it's through a realtor open house or something like that. I would just to cover your butt, get the permission from the listing agent.
That's right. So note number 2, each video must have something of value, and we'll talk about that in a minute, and a call to action. A call to action, or a CTA, is where you ask the viewer or the listener to do something, call you, text you, comment below, or ask questions. Note number 3, you don't have to go out and get a bunch of equipment. Use your iPhone videos or iMovie to get started. Done is better than perfect. So don't use analysis paralysis as your excuse to procrastinate.
So I'm going to do a little edit to your point. Well, do a little contribute a bit. Just use your iPhone. Just do a straight uncut video.
Yep.
Don't worry about iMovie. Don't worry about editing. Don't try to become some highfalutin influencer type. Just do a straight uncut video, because I'll tell you what's happened. And Julie and I've learned this from our podcast. Longtime listeners, there's thousands of these podcasts. We've had well over maybe 40 million downloads or something crazy. And I'll tell you, we used to sweat the details when we first started doing this, and we just do not give a hoot nowadays. If Zoe walks into our, little, de facto studio here, it is what it is. Noise in the background, audio quality. People want good audio quality in a podcast especially, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Do not spend so much time wasting time trying to make things perfect.
Yes.
Done is better than perfect. Done is better than perfect. Say that a million times. And if you get something out that feels more natural, and that's ultimately what people want. That's what you want. You want something that's more conversational. When you listen, we read your comments on iTunes, guys. The reason that, and we feel the same way about you to what I'm about to say. Mm-hmm. The reason you like this podcast is Julie and I are being ourselves. We're just, essentially, we are reading notes, but Julie and I are being ourselves, talking about the things that we normally talk about. Yes, we are really this boring. Let's just put that out there.
And we do interrupt each other from time to time, sort of thing.
We do. We've been married for 31 years this year, so we got it worked out, so don't worry about that. But here's the bottom line, what I'm trying to say. People want to feel like, look at the podcast or listen to the podcast that you watch. People want to feel like they're part of the conversation. They don't want to feel like they're being preached at. So if you are worried about, I need to set up a studio, I need to have this big formal whatever. Nope. No, you don't. What you need is your iPhone. I don't know anything about Android, so there you go. Put it on 4K setting and do some videos. And if they're a little bit hammy or they're a little bit silly, don't worry about it. People will still enjoy it. I promise you it's not more complicated than that.
Well, be yourself, talking about real estate. And don't make it too long either. You don't have to have hour-long podcasts or discussions. You can do even little 15-minute snippets, 10-minute snippets. I was just talking to Katie Christensen in Iowa. She's gotten really good at this. So, all right, top things to actually make content about. Number one, and this is number one for a reason, because we know for certain that people pay very close attention to this, and that is market updates. These need to be done every month. So right there's 12 monthly things that you should be doing. Market updates, break down price ranges, zip codes, and report highest sales in specific areas. Average list to sell price ratio, days on the market, and trends. This information can be found from your local board of realtors and lots of other sources. It's not hard to find.
So I'll give, again, amplifying that first point. If all you do is your videos on market updates, you'll be right as rain. Julie's had coaching clients. I've had coaching clients. Over the years, they do postcards back in the day. Well, postcards still work in some markets. They'll do newsletters, and they are chock full of just market content, data, information. What you will discover is over time, people save those. People save the market updates. People put them in a kitchen drawer. And then what you're doing is you are creating this long-term history with this potential seller of being the expert. And that does pay off. So if you are going to make videos, what a great idea is just how about this? Your iPhone sitting there staring at you while you're staring at the computer, and you're reading the latest information that you're seeing from the MLS hot sheet that particular day, and just broadcast that out there. You will find people that are going to start paying attention to that. You will beat CNBC and all these other news sources to the latest breaking real estate information by sometimes 2 or 3 weeks, because you're reading the information, fresh content right off the screen. Don't worry about and don't get overly emotionally attached to how many people are viewing it initially. Then, Julie and I are going to show you guys how to make sure you're using the right tags and titles. And we're going to talk about thumbnails, and we're talking about some of the intricate analytical stuff as we get more into this topic. But for now, we're just trying to get you to realize that making videos, making fun videos that people are going to want to consume, it's going to be easier than you think. In your mind, you think you have to compete with somebody that's overproduced. You don't. If you have a choice to watch a video today about a particular housing market, let's say, or something else you're interested in, do you want to watch somebody who's giving you the real information, or do you want somebody that spent a lot of time pontificating and making a bunch of visual slides and all the rest of it talking about the market information? You want somebody that's just going to give you the facts. Again, I'm trying to give you guys the runway and permission not to overanalyze, not to talk yourselves out of doing something that should be relatively simple.
That's right. You could make this Monday market updates and be regular, something that somebody looks forward to and is watching what's happening in their market. You do want to label this market specific, like you might say market update for Orange County, California, or something like that, so that they get used to searching you and it comes up in Google. But your market updates are clearly something of value. Remember our first criteria. And then make sure you've got a call to action. Ask them to ask questions and engage with your listeners.
That's the greatest call to action on YouTube. And as Julie just said, she's going to review what she just said.
Right.
Please like,
subscribe, add comments and questions right now. If you're listening on YouTube, we do pay attention and we do answer those with you guys.
If you're going to be doing videos on YouTube, do ask them to subscribe, and all of you please subscribe right now, and do ask them to leave comments, because what that actually does is it helps the YouTube algorithm to then expose your video to more potential viewers. Those are great, powerful CTAs, and you can then obviously generate some long tail potential relationships off that as well. You're essentially creating a YouTube-based center of influence and past client list. That's what you're doing with this information, but you're leading with value. You're giving them something of value. And a real powerful way to end every video is something super, basic. By the way, if you run across anyone who's thinking about buying or selling real estate in this market that I should be helping, I'd certainly appreciate the opportunity to help them, and you could send them my way, something like that.
A free market analysis, something like that.
Right. Do a CTA, like Julie's saying. A CTA would be communicate with me, like and subscribe to the video, right? Or if you're doing a podcast, those types of things. Many of you will have an easier time doing video than you'll have doing podcasts. And then ask them to call you direct if they have, or communicate with you directly, message you directly if they have any particular, folks that are interested in actually transacting.
That's right. And that was all. Point number 1, market updates. Point number 2, you can film video walkthroughs of your current listings. Of course, your listings take priority, but as well as your coming soons. Video is vastly superior to slideshows. Some of you guys are stuck in slideshows, but those are really getting outdated. People would far prefer to watch an actual video and be able to rewind and check out the great room and the fireplace and the backyard. Do videos for, of course, your active listings as well as your coming soons. And you can also partner with other agents in your brokerage. You can do video walkthroughs of open houses. There's lots of different versions of the video walkthrough.
Well, you can do a video walkthrough. You don't have to do all these ideas, guys. If you just land on the first one, the market updates, you're going to be good. But if you wanted to do video walkthroughs, you could choose your favorite listing in every single price range, that's a little, a lot. But maybe you could just choose your favorite new luxury listing or your new favorite, waterfront listing, and just do a video now and then, maybe once a week. Yeah. Now, I'm going to say to you guys, remember, we're hopefully very clear. We talked about this in our book, Harris Rules, available at Amazon and every major bookseller. 80% proactive lead generation, 20% passive lead generation. This is passive. Clearly, this is not going to put money in your pocket and put you in a position to help people right away. So make sure you do not flip that. You do not conflate all of a sudden putting 80% of your effort into this stuff and 20% into the passive stuff, into the proactive stuff. Don't make that mistake, or you will not make it through this market shift. Next point, Julie.
Next point, number 3, drone footage of your listings. Now, I just had 2 coaching calls in a row. Both of them are doing drone footage. Both of them have really this is especially good for interesting property where it's mixed use, it's farm, it has lots of cool things going on, but it doesn't have to be like that. If you just have a standard cookie cutter house and you're wondering, well, what am I going to drone footage of that? You can fly around the neighborhood. You can look at neighborhood amenities. You can show how close it is to the school. You've got lots of different options with that. So you can do drone footage of your listings.
That's a little onerous, obviously, if you don't want to learn how to fly a drone. If you happen to have a teenager, well, there's your easy button. Ask around in your office or ask other agents. Chances are there's somebody who loves doing drone footage.
Well, there's companies that'll do it for you too.
Exactly, but I don't want them spending a whole bunch of money on doing something like that. Again, I'm leaning into the first point being probably most important. Point number 4 is similar, drone footage of a specific neighborhood and its amenities.
Point number 5, preview film of your upcoming open house, right? One of our agents does this routinely. He is more on the buyer side, occasionally has listings, but he will partner with a listing agent, pre-film that, and then hold the listing open for them. And it's a great lead generator for them. So that's another different thing you can do. Point number 5, was 5. Point number 6, highlight businesses in your community or owned by your past clients and centers of influence. This is good for people searching in Google for different things to do in your community. This is just tightening your network and your center of influence. And it's a really nice thing to do for a past client or somebody in your sphere.
We need to drill down on that. So that is an awesome point, because if, for example, someone is in Murphy, North Carolina, and they're looking for trailheads for the Appalachian Trail, and they want to go on a not too, treacherous hike through the Appalachian Trail this weekend that's going to be 5 miles or less. Okay.
Yeah.
So whatever the search terms are, and you guys can, again, we're going to show you how to do this more, obviously on Premier Coaching, but more in a future podcasts as well. Figure out what people are already searching for that's related to real estate, related to your community, related to the lifestyle living in your community, and make videos about that. And by the way, that's going to put you out there actually doing some intermingling with potential buyers and sellers. Julie's idea of going and meeting with local businesses. Feature a different business. Now, be strategic about it. Don't choose, a business that's not necessarily going to be in a position to send you potential referrals. Like Julie and I did stuff like this when we sold real estate, and we would go to the town center and we would go and visit with all the local businesses, and we'd say we'd like to feature them. They always thought it was going to cost something, and we always said we were going to do it for free. And then we'd just ask that they would send us referrals, and sometimes they would put our business cards or whatever somewhere in their storefront, and they were so thrilled and happy. And some of them to this day still send us referrals, and we haven't sold real estate for a while. The moral of the story is think like a potential relocating person, right? Or somebody thinking about moving to the community. And you got to write down a list and brainstorm. Again, we're going to drill down on this in Premier Coaching, and drill down on all the search terms that people are looking for as prospective home buyers in your community. It's easy to find out. All you've got to do is go to Google and start putting in homes for sale in, like ours would have been, homes for sale in New Albany, Ohio. And then what you're going to see is Google's going to try to autofill, it's going to try to finish what you're searching for. It's going to try to the AI is going to try to guess what you're searching for. And then all the things that come up, all the 10 suggestions, those are all going to be killer video ideas for you, because those are the things that Google knows other people are searching for that were using similar words as you. Homes for sale, things to do in Murphy, North Carolina. Children's activities in, Laguna Beach, California, whatever it is, you can start putting those things in and then write down specifically what Google's spitting out that other people are searching for. And then you choose what you're going to make videos about. And that is another great idea. And again, it's fun. Like you have
free.
You have an 8.5-year-old, and you're in Murphy, North Carolina, and you're trying to decide what to do with your 8.5-year-old because she's driving you crazy. I mean, there's only so many
boxes. What made you think that?
There's only so many boxes that you can get her to address. And eventually she's figuring out that she's working for free, and she's going to ask for a payoff.
That's right.
So you're going to go to Google, and you're going to do a search, and you're going to come up with all these suggestions you're going to maybe be able to do with your little kid. But it's easy, because then all those ideas that pop up, well, that tells me that other people in the future that have little kids with similar problems are going to be also on Google's looking for a solution. And that's how you're going to start coming up with more content ideas. You don't actually have to think of anything.
No.
The world's already telling you. Or another thing to do, and this is frankly one of these super easy buttons, is go to YouTube and actually search for community information and see what other people have created, what other videos have been created about your particular community. See which videos have the views and copy it. Watch the video, look at their title, and copy it. Copy what they're doing. Copy what's working. Yep. Don't try to be creative. Be creative like when you're already at the top of the mountain. Don't be creative when you're on the ascension, when you're trying to build this.
Well, and this is why we call it the magic Google button, right?
Yeah.
You can literally, if you get stuck, Tim just gave you a whole bunch of different ideas. You can literally ask Google, what are the top 10 questions about Murphy, North Carolina, or your town? And it will tell you what are people searching for right now in
Murphy,
real time.
North Carolina crime rates. Murphy, Carolina
homes for sale.
Homes for sale. Murphy, Carolina top realtors. Murphy, Carolina, whatever it is, and go and North Carolina, by the way, and go and start doing those searches, and then start Murphy, North Carolina, like a Murphy, North Carolina, places to go boating or whatever it is that you're into. And then you're going to see other people are searching for similar things. Murphy, North Carolina, waterfront properties. Oh, there's a good idea. You guys get it?
That, right? Okay. So point number 7. This is one of my favorite ones. You can showcase model homes in new construction communities. Highlight the builder and what makes their product special. What's the price range, the production time, the amenities? Do they have spec homes for sale? Do this for all of your new construction communities in your area. Use Google and newhomesource.com to find where they are. Now, this does multiple things, is why I like this point. It gets you out there and forces you to know new construction. It forces you to network with sales reps and builders. That's good for your business, isn't it? It exposes you as somebody who knows about new construction, and you'll come up in those searches. When I go to your name of your town, new construction or new homes available in, you're going to be the one telling me about it. Well, great lead generator.
Let's drill down on that great idea, Julie. So you could actually go set your iPhone up at the New Home Center's sales rep's desk, and then you can write down a series of questions about what makes that builder and that experience unique, why someone would want to work with them, and interview that new home rep, and then go around and have them show the fact that the drawers in the kitchen are dovetailed, or that this is the other things, and one builder uses this insulation, the other uses that insulation. Let the new home rep do their job explaining to your prospective buyers and their prospective build clients why they're special. That is massive content for you. And let's say this is Smith Brothers Builders or whatever, right? You now have a video of Smith Brothers Builders rep talking about their product that you're then going to be able to generate leads off of. You guys get this? This is a way you can go out. Now, awesome. Remember, 20% doing stuff like this, which for some of you will be very seductive because it's fun, frankly. Mm-hmm. And then 80% doing the real lead generation, the real work. If you have to choose, obviously you want to put your emphasis towards the 80%, and then you can set this stuff aside. Don't allow yourself to be sucked into the vortex of creating media and creating content when you're in a changing market like this, because you need to be focusing on making money and helping people. And we are going to teach you that in Premier Coaching. And remember, guys, text the word Premier to 47372 and message and data rates may apply.
Okay, number 8 is our final point for today, because this is going to tee you up for what we're talking about tomorrow. And remember, we have 38 of these things that we present in Premier Coaching. We're just walking you through the first 8 or so, because 8 is a big category. Educational/informational videos on specific topics for buyers and sellers. We're going to dedicate tomorrow to talking about this. So, for example, a hot topic right now is what's the difference between a 30-year conventional and an adjustable rate. Adjustable rates are a hot button right now in today's market.
You and I researched this. I mean, again, if someone were to hang out with us all day, they'd go, holy tamale, you guys are boring people. Yes, we are. So we were researching mortgage rates this morning when we got up around 6:30 a.m. before we went on a walk. And 7:30 a.m. And so what we discovered was mortgage interest rates are now nationwide around, what was it?
Very close to 6%.
Okay, and the rates are supposed
to
go...
For a conventional.
Right, and then now I know if the yield curve goes up, then hypothetically the mortgage rates will go down. But it does seem like the mortgage rates are increasing commensurate with the rising interest rates by the Fed. Interest rates are supposed to go up by 0.75 of a point. You're looking at hypothetically an interest rate that's going to be in the mid-6s very soon. Then you want to do a report about the fact that if they cannot afford the payment when the interest rate's at 6.5%, why don't they do a 5-year ARM? Why don't they do a 7-year ARM? Why don't they learn how to buy down the interest rates? We're going to show you guys how to do all this. We've talked about this on the podcast before, and you can do videos about it. Nobody is doing content on YouTube about those particular topics right now as pertains to your individual market. Research it. Do a mortgage buy down, New Albany, Ohio, or whatever. Nobody's done interest. No one's doing videos like that. You think that that's where everyone's going to be searching as the rates rise? They're going to look for ways to make their payments lower? Of course they are. So be ahead of the curve. So guys, we're going to get to the next point tomorrow. Hopefully you're enjoying this topic. I know you are. Please remember to like and subscribe. We are really focused on our YouTube channel for the next 6 months. We really want to double, if not triple, our number of subscribers. Work with us. We're going to work with you. Help us to help you get through this changing, crazy market. We're in unprecedented historic times. Don't be intimidated by it. And I know there's going to be a lot of drama. What's going to make it especially bad this year is because it's an election year. So you're going to have a lot of people with hidden agendas or not so hidden agendas that are trying to scare you. You've got to be really, really careful who you're listening to, because who you're listening to, they might be triggered themselves. In other words, they're not being careful who they listen to. So you could just easily get caught into this adult, downward failure spiral because you're just filling your mind constantly with negative information that's all somebody else's agenda and they don't even know it. The best way to purge yourself from essentially this type of thinking, this bad mindset, is just to minimize what you're exposing yourself to. That's the reason we're, especially in a market like this, massive advocates of having media-free lives. Podcasts, frankly, are a great way to prune who and what you're going to listen to. And, you can then decide, well, I'm going to completely eliminate maybe going to these websites. I'm going to completely eliminate major media. Major media has become nothing, and I don't care what side of the political aisle you're on, has really largely become something that all of us should completely ignore. It's all agenda-based. It's all designed to it's clickbait, one form or another, and it's going to cause you not to be your best version of yourself. You need to be forward deployed in a market like this. You need to be, frankly, in the position with your skill set and your mindset to be of service to other people. Because in markets like this create tremendous opportunity when you have the mindset to be of service to other people. In other words, you're not so rooted in fear. And also you have to have the skill set to be of service to other people. Agents do not have the skill set right now. 99.9% of you who have only sold real estate in the past 15 years, you've never been through any sort of shifting market. You only know the market to go in one trajectory. You don't know what you don't know. That is the reason that Julie and I have made Premier Coaching free. So just text the word Premier to 47372. Text the word Premier to 47372. You probably can join now and get on today's Premier semi-private coaching session. So text the word Premier to 47372. Remember, message and data rates may apply. You guys have a fantastic day. We'll talk with you on the show tomorrow.